It's a quiet Friday night in October 1993 in the picturesque river town of Petaluma, California. 3 junior high school girls are having a slumber party, trying on costumes in preparation for Halloween. Around 10:30 p.m., the nightmare began when an intruder stepped into the room. Holding a knife, he tied the girls up and demanded to know where the money was hidden. He made 12-year-old Polly Klaas get up, told the others to count to 1,000, and disappeared into the night. Law enforcement was immediately racing against the rule of thirds. In cases of missing children, typically 1/3 are recovered alive, 1/3 are found dead, and 1/3 are simply never heard from again. Stranger abductions are among the hardest crimes to solve because there is no existing connection between the perpetrator and the victim. It's a random act, leaving investigators with no jilted relative or known associate to track. Inside the bedroom, detectives found very little to work with. There were cut Nintendo cords and a strap clipped from a purse used as bindings, but as one detective noted, it was a pitiful amount of physical evidence. When a random predator leaves no obvious trail, local police tactics reach their limit. Finding Polly Klaas would require a search that moved beyond the traditional borders of a neighborhood investigation. The search escalated into a massive national effort. Thousands of volunteers organized a command center, distributed 50,000 flyers, and held candlelight vigils to keep the search in the public eye. But 2 months into that search, a devastating realization emerged. Law enforcement had actually intercepted the kidnapper on the very night of the abduction. On a rural property off Pythian Road, 2 Sonoma County deputies had responded to a call about a trespasser. They found a man with his car stuck in the mud. He was agitated and smelled of alcohol, but he managed to pass their roadside sobriety tests. Finding no legal reason to hold him, the deputies stayed for 45 minutes, helped him pull his car out of the mud, and watched him drive back toward the main highway. The question haunted the investigation. How could a kidnapper walk away while the entire state was looking for him? Those deputies didn't fail out of personal error. They were operating within a 1993 law enforcement infrastructure that was systemically blind and divided by county lines. To find what the local police could not, the FBI's evidence response team stepped in. Their task was to use forensic resources to find the traces that were invisible to the naked eye. They used an electrostatic dust print machine to pull tiny fibers off the bedroom floor. Laboratory analysis later identified these as carpet fibers, likely belonging to the interior of the kidnapper's car. Then, using an alternate UV light source and fluorescent powder, they found a clear palm print left on Polly's bedpost, a piece of the killer left right at the point of the abduction. But there was a catch. In 1993, the FBI's fingerprint database only tracked fingerprints. Even with a perfect palm print, the system returned a no-match error because it wasn't designed to search for that specific type of ridge detail. The FBI also deployed its Rapid Start team, using early computer processing to triage and track the over 12,000 public leads that were flooding in from the search center. While forensic science was capable of isolating microscopic fibers and latent prints, the fragmented data systems of the era couldn't connect those specific physical traces back to a suspect. The breakthrough finally came on a rural property, where a landowner discovered torn silk bindings in the woods. Forensic experts confirmed these matched the material found in Polly's bedroom exactly. This was the same property where deputies had encountered Richard Allen Davis 2 months prior. The encounter revealed 2 structural failures. First, the deputies' localized radio frequency meant they never heard the missing child bulletin. Second, their squad car computer only pulled Davis's driving record. His violent kidnapping history and parolee status were stored in a separate, inaccessible database. Davis didn't escape because he was clever. He slipped through because the systems designed to track him weren't built to communicate with one another. Richard Allen Davis was eventually arrested for a routine parole violation. While he sat in an isolation cell, denying any involvement, investigators finally had a suspect they could compare against their evidence. When technicians matched his palm print to the one found on the bedpost, Davis's leverage disappeared. He could no longer explain away his presence in Polly's bedroom. Davis confessed and led investigators to an abandoned lumber mill in Cloverdale. There, in a field under some boards, they found Polly's body. It remains the most agonizing detail of the case. Polly was likely just yards away in the darkness, while those deputies were helping her killer free his car from the mud. The investigation forced a shift in how police departments communicate during a crisis. Missing person bulletins were standardized to broadcast across all available police channels, a transition that laid the groundwork for what we now know as the Amber Alert. It also sparked a database revolution. Today, a routine traffic stop allows officers to instantly cross-reference a driver's license with full criminal and parole histories across every jurisdiction in the country. Public outrage led to the creation of three strikes legislation, a direct effort to ensure that repeat violent offenders remain incarcerated. Richard Allen Davis was convicted of murder and kidnapping in 1996. He was sentenced to death and remains on death row at San Quentin. The search for Polly Klaas exposed the structural gaps that allowed a predator to hide in plain sight. By closing those specific blind spots, lawmakers and investigators re-engineered the response for every child that has gone missing.